We're back.
Fabio Gringo's in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the D. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet. East 10th Street boys bring the party. Bring the noise from Hialeah with some joy.
Should I say water like that?
Well, I'm telling you, bro. I'm focused, bro. I'm focused, man. Yeah, inside out.
You know who I am by now. I said,
You identify as.
you know, hey. When Alex takes a shower, the dude goes for 3 hours. I mean, it's like, he's going to be gone for a while. You have time. Do whatever you're going to do. Go grocery shopping. Go eat dinner.
Night, Latin spice and neon lights.
Good evening, Miami. East 10th Street boys in the house. What is up? I'm Bobby O'Gringo, joined by Alex the Boy, or El Chapo, or
El Chapo.
Pablo, or one of the.
You just went generic. You just went generic cartoon names.
I mean, I don't know what you're gonna get any week. Alex changes it. But anyway, it's been a little bit. Not
Yes,
for
sir.
me. I've been on for a little bit, on here, but not doing this. So I'm laid back tonight. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we do. Dolphins, free agency, draft around the corner. Miami Heat, 83 out of bio. All the above. We got so much to talk about. But before we do, Alex, well, we did. You were on the World Baseball Classic show with Russ and
yes.
I think possibly tomorrow you guys will be doing the recap, and congratulations to Venezuela. We'll talk about the World Baseball Classic in just a minute too as well. But before we get into any of that, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Tired, but excited to be back on. I feel like for some reason it's been an eternity. But like you said, I was on, I believe, like 2 weeks ago. But for us, this is always our laid back session. And the graphics are getting better and better. So I just love it's refreshing just looking at the screen and seeing our fountain in Hialeah, the palm trees. It's a little chilly here today, so it's cooperating. At least the weather's cooperating with me. It's not humid, so I'm not sitting in a puddle of water. But I'm just happy to be back, man. Missing you. That's right. We back.
Yes, sir. The boys are back. What's up, Adrian, DSG, Miami Sports, all those dropping in wherever you're watching from. We appreciate you watching East 10th Street Boys straight out of Hialeah, live on FTSN. Very cool. Again, DSG will tell you, Adrian will tell you. He's not I've been on plenty of times through the last couple of weeks, but nothing beats East 10th Street Boys. And a lot to talk about, right? Again, the World Baseball Classic. Yeah. What an event, man. I mean, what a lot of fun baseball. I'm going to be very honest. I was pissed off with the way it went with Italy and Puerto Rico. That first inning really just, of course, they Puerto Rico misses one on the outfield. There was a fly ball. The ball falls right in front of them. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, I'm terrible at baseball, but even I know to catch the damn ball. Well, it's because they don't have their superstars. It's like, I get that. Yeah. even a high schooler knows to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
then, man, Dominican Republic, my goodness, just a powerhouse. Julio Rodriguez, that dude, man. There was one with Aaron Judge hit it home run, looked like it was a home run, and Julio jumped like 5 feet up in the air. It took it, it was ridiculous. It was really cool. But of course, Venezuela getting the win and against Team USA. Russ Morgan, again, we'll talk more about the World Baseball Classic tomorrow with Alex, and which should be a great show. And again, what a classic. I'll tell you what, I'm super excited for baseball season. And it was because of the WBC. I feel a lot more excited. I mean, how about, Italy? What a run. Italy was like ridiculous. I mean, they seem like at one point I was like, oh gosh, they're gonna do it, aren't they?
They have a nice coaching staff. And their center fielder is our Marlins
I was gonna say,
fielder.
Yeah.
Yep. Jacob Marcy.
Let's see here. What is he? Thankfully, I didn't add the scenes from the rip to the graphics. I watched it. I have not watched that movie, but I will.
Yeah.
And maybe we should do that and do
But
a
supposedly
episode based on
they
that.
didn't film in Hialeah, really.
No, that's what I heard. I don't think they filmed in
Yeah.
Hialeah, but they
Yeah,
said it was
that's messed
Hialeah.
up. That's messed up. They should have filmed in Hialeah.
You know,
I'm like, when I saw some of those trees, I'm like, we don't have those type of trees over here.
Frankie says only 3 players that actually were from Italy. You know what? It's funny that you say that. My father-in-law was saying the same thing. He goes, Italy really is just another team USA. And I almost like I was the best. Go, well, so was Puerto Rico, but
That's legit. And but the best one, I'm a little prejudiced on this one. Is like not prejudice. I'm a little homer on this one. Is Austin Wells in DR, the team they call him of all the players they call him El Primo. So he's the funniest one. I think his grandfather or his grandmother was Dominican. So he's been able to play for the Dominican team. I'm like, they got to get this regulated, bro. Like, there has to be some way, somehow. And I'll talk with Russ about this because this is one of my ideas. Like, this whole generational thing, like, how far back can you claim citizenship or, like, just to be naturalized so you can play for that country? I'm like, I would feel they gotta reconfigure some of these things here. But it was fun, man. They have the Italians have a great coaching staff.
Oh,
they really do.
I like legitimately the way they have it going. I could have gone to any team. Once I could have been on Team Puerto Rico. Once they lost, I go to Team USA or start with Team USA, go to Puerto Rico, or go to Team Italy or whatever. I have so many things in my ancestry, but because the way they sounded like, oh, he really wanted to play for Team USA, but Team USA didn't call him, so he decided to play for Team Italy or whatever. But it was like, okay,
USA should have called a whole lot of other people.
But Russ says he has all the funny stories and everything to discuss tomorrow. So make sure with World Baseball Classic, you guys hit that subscribe button and notifications bell and watch Russ Morgan and Alex tomorrow discussing the World Baseball Classic. So hopefully, from my understanding,
yes.
Russ, possibly Evan might show up on the show too. But I know Evan's been very busy. But Evan was on with me last night. We had an amazing show, great commentary about the Dolphins and the draft and everything else. And we're going to talk Dolphins in just a second. Frankie says, I'm good friends with the Tony D'Angelo. There you go. The Don Tony D'Angelo. I love that. I love that.
For all our guests, apparently our beautiful host really likes his new chair because he's swinging back and forth nonstop. I'm just seeing you. You haven't noticed, right? I know everybody's noticing. You're going from side to side. You're just like
I'm not
waving.
in a chair.
You're
I'm
dancing.
Standing up.
You're standing up?
Yeah, that's the point. That's what I did during the intro.
Oh, I thought you were putting the chair down. Like I'm you were just down. Like,
I'm going down.
Elevator.
The desk is going down. Oh,
man. Oh, you got the elevator desk.
And that's going
got you. Nice, man.
I like standing up, man. Like maybe during our draft show when we're going for hours, I may get the chair or whatever. But I like standing. Lets out the energy. I feel more relaxed. I'm ready to go. Good.
The best part is you could actually be just like butt naked from the waist down, or just on your boxer, like boxer briefs.
I was just having a whole debate with Tati why that would be amazing. That was a benefit. Why I could be bottomless, you know what I mean? And
perfect.
She'd just be hanging out here, and no one, but anyway. No, I love it. And I do. It's like a kid said. Yeah, I watch film standing up now. I take notes. I don't have to bring my chair down. I can just watch, players.
It's a game changer. It's
100%. It feels, and it's letting the energy out. It's letting it out. True. Like I should. DSG, go. You're a white. I've seen your picture. You shut your ass. It's true. It is, but it was a joke, Frankie. We're having fun. It's East Century, boys, my man. Welcome. We got to have you on the show, Frankie. DSG, if he's that much on the comments, that's why he stays right there. Because we know if we put him on the show, I'm getting kicked off the air. FTSM will be shut down. That's why I keep DSG right where he is. He's Italian. There you go. My great grandmother was Italian.
Oh, Bobby, you could play for Italy.
I know. I could have played for all of it. I've said
you legit. You could play for like 3 teams.
Dude, I could play for 3 teams.
And you could have been an honorary Cuban national team member.
Yeah, I got
1% you got Puerto Rico. Yeah,
I do. I have 1% Cuban in me.
Whoa. Like how
DNA
just 1%.
Whoa.
It's in me. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it, bud. What's going on underneath that desk over there, bro? What's going on?
Frankie says it's all about West Hialeah. Well,
West Hialeah is way nicer. West Hialeah is way nicer. Property. No, it's true. It's true.
Hey, shut up.
Property value and all that. Yeah, I'm West Hialeah now. Like
Yeah,
I'm
you
out
took
of
off. Yeah, you're like, fuck this place. I mean,
No.
I moved to Nashville. I moved to
Yeah,
Tennessee.
you're
so
the original.
I'm the
You're
original. Get the fuck
fuck
out.
this place.
I left. And then when I realized I'm a little too close when I was in
Yeah.
Orlando, I took out
Yeah.
with
You
states
took out
away.
even one north.
It's
One
a little
north.
too close, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to pull this up for a second. Tati says I'm everything, which is true. But
I want to know where they know my name. What's going on?
love Cheers.
Yep. That's the
Where
new segment.
everybody knows my name.
Right there. That's Rainy. That's what we got to do. The new segment. What's going on underneath the desk?
Yeah.
Bobby's attire. Bobby's shoes.
It's like, oh, anyway, guys. So this has been a really good show.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
Anyway, you towel? No. Hey! Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, Slovakia, Europe, Puerto Rico.
Damn.
Southern Germanic Europe, Northern Spain, Basque, North Africa. Hell yeah, there you go. No, Nigeria, Southern Italy.
So for anyone who has never been to Hialeah, best spot to grab something to eat. Oh, Frank, it all depends what you're in the mood for. All depends what you're in the mood for. Because Hialeah has so much now.
Yeah, I know, Russ. I know. You know. Never blow your load too quick. Yes, it was discussed last night on Finn's TV. Never drop your load too quick. That's right.
Oh, you guys.
Take your
Okay,
time,
whoa,
brother.
whoa.
That was actually a
Nice,
discussion.
nice.
That's not something we were just saying.
That's perfect.
Bobby told me,
see?
she told me, oh, it does it to players all day. That's right. That's what I do. Hialeah has the best food. Look, you know what place we went to, Alex? Where we had Audrey's birthday party. The
Tropical
cafeteria.
That's a staple. Yeah,
dude.
Tropical restaurant.
Yeah, you know, you could either just, which again, that is such the perfect idea for a restaurant, especially Cuban more than anything, but a little cafeteria window where you don't have to go sit down inside. You want food, just order at the window. You want to get your Cuban coffee before you go to work or after you get home from work or whatever, go to the window. I mean, I wish that they would do something like that here, man. I would be there every morning. Tati would be like, we don't have money. I don't give a damn. I'm stopping to get myself coffee from, you know what I mean? So and that's one thing I told Tati, we're going there. We're going to go sit down and eat. And we did. And the ropa vieja was
it's awesome. Man.
Amazing. Now, Miami Dolphins. My goodness. If you thought this season, we knew we may see some cuts and players that we like or love are going to be shown, or not so much love, but get shown the door. We knew that was going to happen. What we didn't know was all the players that they would sign, even at a very minimum budget, a 1-year deal, whatever, here and there, bringing in someone like a Malik Willis when we didn't figure we had the money for him. And then we discussed during the season about potentially trading Jalen Waddle during the bye. I mean, during the trade deadline. And then as it got closer, a couple days before, I was talking about a potential Jalen Waddle trade if what I would do, because someone offered me, who was representing the Broncos on a mock draft, a 32 podcaster mock draft that's coming up, offered me that trade. Said, what would you take for Jalen Waddle? I said, well, I did some research. I said, all right, give me a first and one of your 4th round picks. And, we went back and forth. He said, well, let me get back to you on draft day in the 1st round and see what the receivers are left. And I was like, shit. And I said, that trade's not going to happen now, because this draft is so stacked at wide receiver. I had no clue. I mean, I had no
inclination,
reservation that this guy was going to go and just take a pick. Like, I was like, there's no doubt this guy's going to go get somebody, because of course there's going to be someone available. I mean, if you don't get Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon, if those guys are all going to be gone probably by the top 15, whatever, you could still get Denzel Boston out of Washington or Chris Bell out of Louisville. I was like, there's no way they're going. He's at a trade now. He's going to know there's someone there. But so I talked about it on the draft show, and Josh Wingate, great question, but he was like, dude, I don't know if I would make that trade, because is the talent good enough in the draft to replace a Jalen Waddle? And my argument was there absolutely is. This is a great year to need wide receivers. A great year to need, because this class is ridiculously deep at wide receiver.
You can double dip in your later rounds.
You should double dip.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be okay with one of these top guys, but I think it would be criminal if you didn't double dip, So anyway, I said, so I did the show and I talked about it. I didn't expect him to reach back out. We did talk after the trade, but when that trade went down, And then I saw the compensation. It was a lot more than what I thought. I was like, I was ecstatic. Not more because Jalen Waddle was gone or was getting traded.
Yeah,
Jalen
that's
Waddle
what's
is
gonna
a
hurt.
great guy, and great player, good guy, good player, whatever. Yeah, I was more inclined to move him because of the contract that was coming, and he's not the same that he was 2 seasons ago. So I think the Broncos paid a little too much. Like when I first threw the 30th overall pick at the guy, I expected him to come back and go, dude, that's crazy. I'll give you a second rounder. And that's the go from there. But he's like, let me think about it. But then that trade actually goes down. And so I told him, I guess they made the trade for us. He goes, no shit. So, it's just so funny how it played out. I had a lot to talk about it last night. Again, I love the draft picks. Now, first off, you had 3 third rounders, which I was ecstatic about. Now you got 4 third rounders. You have 2 first rounders, 1 second rounder, 4 third rounders, 7 in the top 100.
100 pick, yeah.
In a draft that is deeper in the bottom half than it is at the top.
Yep.
I'm ecstatic about what we got back. What are your thoughts on the Jalen Waddle trade?
Well, to recap, not surprised because we always figured this was going to be a possibility. I know people have even mentioned HN. I've always been steadfast on we cannot move HN. HN is part of the future, and apparently that is so. Maybe they're building up. Someone might go crazy and try to offer another first round pick, and maybe they'll entertain it, but I really doubt it. I think HN is a cornerstone for us, along with Patrick Paul, and you got veteran presence there in the line. And you got obviously development, the possibility of certain developments there. Even with Austin Jackson, we're working his deal. What gives me great pleasure is the fact that we seem to have a GM that is competent. We seem to have a head coach and a GM that are aligned. And obviously they are. They come together into this, and they're going to build something the right way. I know people talk about, if we're going to tank, why do we go and do that and give Willis that contract? When you find a quarterback, a potential franchise quarterback, and you have the opportunity to sign him below average value for a quarterback, you do it, and then you figure the rest out. Everybody knows this is a reset year, but boatload of picks you have. Out of those 7 top 100 picks, you can arguably pick 4 to 5 starters, ideally, maybe even more, depending if you hit on every single one of them. And now it gives you the possibility. You have the ammunition. I don't think per se, I wouldn't discount them moving up. I would not discount that if the right player becomes available, but I just like the fact that it gives them the ammunition now to legit go BPA. You're going to me, they probably have the pick that could change the draft in the first round. Who they go with at 11 could have a ripple effect in the rest of that first round, because there might be 2 O-line that are really studs that do I go wide receiver here? Because I know Tyson's going to be enticing at that moment. But then you just mentioned, Bobby, there's so much depth at the wide receiver that they could go in the late first and the 30th pick. They could go second round or even in the third round, and they still have a legit wide receiver that can compete. Obviously, the wide receiver room is thin right now. I expect when later on in free agency that there's going to be some other signings, maybe some veteran signings just to provide that leadership in the room. Not necessarily extensive playing time, but I could not be happier as a Dolphins fan in regards to I understand what is going on. So I know we say this, we're rebuilding, but it seems to be that the blueprint is being followed, what we as fans have wanted for so long. And the fact that you're tearing down even an arguably young player in his prime in Jalen Waddle, you're moving him for prime picks. You're moving him at prime value. You can say that Denver may be overpaid a little bit, but they do it because that's their window. And when you're in that window, you're going to overpay a little bit for something that you want. To me now, what I'm looking forward to, believe it or not, aside from the draft, is I want to see how A-Chain contracts ends up. They're gonna agree to a new contract, and he might be one of the highest pay running back players in the NFL. So that to me is the next stepping stone in solidifying this franchise. We're not as far as people make us out to be. I don't think people realize that. Like, I know it's a reset, but there are a lot of young pieces in place here that are role players, not cornerstones. You have 1 or 2 cornerstones right now, one in your line and one as your running back. And you have a potential third one and your quarterback position. Aside from the defense, where you got Chop Robinson, you still got Zach Zeeler, which I'm surprised. I don't know if he's ever going to ask out or he might want to be moved, but he might be on board with it. So there's potential all around. And I wouldn't discount in the first round even going for a linebacker if the right name is available. So any players available, when you got 2 picks in the first round, that gives you a lot of flexibility because now you have your priority legit has the possibility of changing depending on what you want and what is available, because you no longer have to risk waiting a little bit more in the second round. You got another 30th pick right there. So I'm just excited for the possibilities. Now, once again, he seems to be competent. He's done everything the right way. He is setting us up for 2027 where we're going to have the most cap in the NFL. So you can kind of see the blueprint where this is going. Now, this is running the show. This is Sully's moment to show what is an Italian evaluation, the people he surrounded himself with, which is what I love, because he has surrounded himself with talented people. It's not only him. He seems to be very cohesive type of GM where he's not afraid to be the leader and make the decisions, but he listens to people's perspectives. And what I like as a collective, their first 4 or 5 picks will determine where this goes.
So first off, shout out to everybody in the comments. Appreciate everyone tuning in. No Doubt is in there. You got Cat for Life popping in as well. DSG says, Alex, we got 30 backup players signed on 1-year deals. It's definitely a rebuild. That's why I say this is what I think.
Absolutely.
I just want to say next season is absolutely a no. And Adrian, we talked about it, and Steve Hallett and Sammy on Fins TV with Matt Armstrong, which is shout out to those guys. Shout out to Fins TV. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Rainy Day Podcast as well. Great content. But it was discussed yesterday about this next season is for the Miami Dolphins is absolutely a no expectation season. Nobody should go into the Dolphins season expecting wins or expecting playoffs or nothing. And that's not a bad thing to say. What I'm saying is next year is about growth. Next year is about watching these guys who we signed, guys that we've drafted. Malik Willis, who we signed to that 3-year deal that's like really like a 2-year deal, but the guys we're eventually going to draft, watching how those guys play, watching how those guys grow together. We're going to see a lot of tough things. We're going to see things where they F up and we're going to be pissed, but how do they respond to that? How do they grow week to week? So that way, when the end of the season comes along, whatever the final record is going to be, and we're going to have our complaints and everything else, we're going to say, okay, hey, they know what to work on. Now we got the money. Now we got some extra draft picks. Do we need to go get that quarterback in the 27 draft? Or do we go trade up and get that Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State, the wide receiver? Or do we use that cap and go sign a quarterback? That's what next year's about. That's what next season's about. And I think Dolphin fans have to start prepping for that. Adrian of the Rainy Day Podcast on the comments earlier, I saw, and I don't have it in front of me, but he was saying, there's a few of us who didn't have high expectations, Ray. But there are a lot of Dolphin fans, and you know this, who always give themselves high expectations and are always disappointed by the end because they want to ignore all the facts, all the hidden, all the little that the Dolphins were was a big freaking outdoor plastic pool with a bunch of holes put up with duct tape from Walgreens or Walmart. They put a bunch of tape there, and you see the little things pouring out and all that. That's what the Dolphins were. Now they just tore down the pool and they built a new one, and now they're trying to slowly build it up. They're putting a strong foundation. But what to say about the receiver spot? Adrian says Miami absolutely needs to go wide receiver early because we need to get that number 1 guy, right? That's fair, right? Here's my thing. Especially these top 3 guys that are there, right? Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. I mean, you think of you think of Ohio State, you think of Jeremiah Smith right away, right? Same thing. If you think of the Hurricanes, you think of Malachi Toney. You don't think about CJ Daniels, but Daniels was just as important to Miami as Malachi Toney. Toney was more explosive. Toney might be the better weapon, but Daniels was like the unsung hero. Where Carnell Tate, I mean, he has the size, 6'3", 195, right? 4-star athlete coming out of high school, but you didn't really get to see a lot of what you would probably want to see because everybody was so enthralled with Jeremiah Smith. But this guy, he has the length. He's a vertical threat. he could be your number one guy. You get him if you were to get him at 11, it would be a great day to walk away from to do that for Miami. Is a true X factor for an offense. I like him a lot, and Ohio State knows how to produce receivers. Let's see here, yeah, everything about him. He's got a first round grade in my book. I mean, and when the Fids Talk draft room, same thing with let's see here, Jordan Tyson. There's a lot of things that he does that you love, and there's a lot of things that he does that you don't love. That you're kind of like, he's kind of maybe he's one of the iffy ones when it comes. Like, I think he's gonna be good, but there are some things that I'm kind of like, It's like if Carnell Tate's there, I'm probably leading Carnell Tate. Makai Lemon. The thing on Makai Lemon is, I know people go, oh, the size, 5'11", 195. First of all, that's not really small, and he doesn't play small. He plays pretty big, and he's a physical receiver, and knows where the sideline is, knows where to put his foot down, very intelligent where to catch the ball, great hands. The question marks is his personality, is his how he does in interviews. Supposedly, there were reports that he flunked a lot of one-on-one interviews with teams. He had a press conference in the combine. He does a little stare down, and people are like, man, it's a little weird. But he's one of the top 30 visits for the Dolphins. So I wouldn't sleep on Makai Lemon being at the 11th pick. But even if, let's say, all three of those guys were taken, or let's say the top two guys were taken and Makai Lemon's on the board and Miami decides to trade out of 11, which I wouldn't sleep on, or go after someone else at 11, whether that is a tackle or a guard or a safety if Caleb Downs is there, whatever. Oh my God, is it the end of the world? Absolutely not. Because at 30, you're looking at possibly Denzel Boston, maybe Chris Bell, even though I would hope Chris Bell would, I Chris Bell, he's a number one guy. If it wasn't for his injury, he would be in the first round. He's that damn good. I absolutely love him. If we could get Chris Bell, sign me up any day of the week. I'm happy. I'm going to bed happy that night, legitimately. But you could get him at possibly at 30, or you could go get him at the next pick in the second round. Or if you wait till the second round, let's say he's not there, Chris Brazel, Zachariah Branch out of Georgia State. That dude's up for, like, oh, Bobby, he's small. We don't take real small receivers. Tutu Atwell's 5'8".
Do you like Concepcion?
I'm intrigued. KC. I think it's KC.
KC?
Right? KC?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Lou, what's up, my man? Yes, the stash is strong tonight. Dude,
yes, sir.
What's up, Duke? You got the porn stash going. Alex is
boom. Boom.
Duke is tight end. Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon, too high at 11.
Yeah.
Man, that's a personal preference question for me, because again, I think it depends really on what the GM, right? And if you go, oh, do you ever see them draft the tight end in Green Bay that early? Whatever. If the talent is there, they're going to get them. Yeah. But for me, I think 11's a little too high. If you were to trade down and maybe if he's the BPA, go get him. But 11 to me feels a little high. But that's me. A team could go get him, right? A team could get him at 10 and 9 and 8, and we know, damn, let's hope he's worth it. Well, if he goes to Miami, let's hope he's not. Josh Wingate in the house. He says, damn, Duke, asking personal questions. Josh Wingate, my co-host for the Fins Talk Draft Show. But anyway, what I was going to say, if you don't get wide receiver at 11 or 30, and I can't wait for Sunday night with Josh and Coach we're going to release our official, my personal, his personal, this mock drafts. They're working on theirs. I'm working on mine. We've been doing the mock draft similar, but we are working currently on our personal mock drafts. So we'll release those. So look forward to that. But again, even if you skip the 30, and let's say you go in the third round, I think Ted Hurst is flying up, maybe a second round guy, but Ted Hurst in the third round. Damn, gosh, I'm forgetting one. I know I am. Oh, Bryce Lance. Bryce Lance after North Dakota State University. I'm going to tell you, again, I think Miami should double dip at wide receiver. Even if they get like a 5'11", 5'9" guy, Zachariah Branch or Makai Lemon, you could still go get that big-bodied wide receiver later on. So the Omar Cooper out of Indiana at 30s, if he's available, possibly, right? I mean, he played with the number one quarterback in college coming out, and, he has talent. You got Elijah Surratt as well later on. You can look at. There's so much riders. That's why, again, to me, that trade was best case scenario. Not only did you get a magnificent haul at value, which probably is a lot more than you should have got for someone like Jalen Waddle. That's why you move him now. You don't wait. Oh, let's wait till his value drops. Let's wait till he's too expensive to trade. No. Hey, I don't see a future with this guy. Let's try to move him. Holy crap. You want a first round pick for him? Take him. Go. We're good. They did. And it's, you look at wide receiver and you go, damn, dude, we're going to get 2 guys. We can get 2 guys and walk away pretty damn happy. And guess what? Tutu Atwell, Malik Washington. Don't sleep on Malik.
Yep.
Don't sleep on Malik. And then you got, of course, Jalen Tolbert from Dallas. So
a dead piece.
And here's my thing about wide receiver. Like, again, I'm not sleeping on any pick at any time. If I'm looking at, like, I'm doing the draft and I see a receiver like Carnell Tate or Makai or whatever, I'm going to consider them. But what if Ruben Bain's sitting there at 11?
Oof.
What if David Bailey is sitting there at 11? Or let's say teams. Go ahead.
Do they still have us mocking? Do they still mock us going with Moluaga? Or is it has how you pronounce that name? The OT offensive lineman from the tackle from UM?
Francis Maunoa?
Miami?
Yeah.
Do they still have us mocking him getting?
They got it all over the place. Oh, now Mel Kiper has a receiver at that pick. It's all about the
Tyson.
They just yeah. Which is whatever. But that's what I'm saying too, right? So, what if Ruben Bain's sitting there? You need edge rushers. Go get him. David Bailey, go get him. Caleb Downs. What if teams believe that he has that degenerative issue and he's right there? Me and Evan were looking at it yesterday. Evan says that no team that Pat McAfee was saying that teams are telling him there's nothing they found on medical. If he's actually sitting there at 11 because you have pick 30, you have the power now. You have the resolve. Go get Caleb Downs. Don't even think twice. You go get Caleb Downs. There's your captain of your defense. There's your quarterback. Go get him. And maybe at 30, if he's still there, we think he's flying up boards, you could go get C.J. Allen at linebacker. Go pick him up out of Georgia. Now, you're stacked. You could go get Zion Young later. Let's not really go crazy with defense. But let's say you do Caleb, then you go Chris Bell at 30. Oh, my God. Kidding me, bro? But what if Miami says, hey, we really like a guy. He's falling in the draft. Let's pack up one of that 30th over pick. Let's go get one of our 3rd round picks. Let's move up in the 1st round and go get another guy. That could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be the Penn State guard, Vega Ione? Maybe. Could it be Spencer Fanu? Because he supposedly has alligator arms. Maybe he's fallen. Maybe he's fallen with those alligator arms. These are alligator arms, by the way.
Yeah, I see this. These are little.
I'm about to do, I got another draft right after this one, brother. Let's ride. I love talking draft. I could go all night. All night long. All night, right? I can do the dance now because I don't have the shirt.
I see. You're not constricted. You feel like you have this freedom now. You're freedom. You're just going to walk around, just start pumping shit up, breaking shit in your house.
One day I'll have the studio and you'll see behind it and I'll just be talking and having fun. It's all about that. But no, seriously. See, Josh is mocking right now.
Don't mock us, Josh. Don't mock us.
Yeah, he's mocking the shit out of us right now.
Yeah, come on, man.
Hey, guys, make sure if you haven't yet, even if you don't like me or don't like my draft takes, go check out the Fins Talk Draft Show with Josh and Coach and myself. Josh is awesome, knows his shit. And what's great, too, about him, and he knows I love this, when he, first off, the work he puts in, but also the thing I love about him is that his questions. Like, he doesn't just, like, you go, man, I really want to go this way. And he'll go, yeah, he goes, let me play devil's advocate. But what if this happens? What if this guy's not here? And you're like, then you got to consider it. That's what's cool. Tell us what you got for the 11th pick, Josh. Josh can put that in the comments there. I think I have their official mocks unless he changed it up on me. I do have theirs. I'm still working on mine. But anyway, Alex, I know you're not too familiar with all the players in the draft, but is there a player that you like, man, I really would love an opportunity? Like you brought up Concepcion.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me. What player, is there a player specifically in the draft that you're like, man, I'd love for Miami to go get them, especially now that we got 11 picks?
Well, it's wide receiver deep. Okay. And there seems to be a lot of big body wide receivers. And I would not be surprised if we double dip on big body wide receivers because we're used to these shorter wide receiver, speedster. I mean, every coach has their preference. I'm not saying you're not going to have a slot receiver that is, in the 5'8", 5'9" range, and you got that in Tutu Atwell as well, and he's a speedster. So, but I'm not even focused on that. My number one thing is my favorite player in this draft is Ruben Bain. And when you brought his name up, you hit the nail on the head for me. It's going to take a little bit of luck because I don't think we're going to move up for him. I really believe Sully's going to play the board. I'm not surprised if he even moves down from 11 and gains another second rounder or a third rounder, and he moves down to the lower teens. I don't mind that if the right players are available. You see right there what Josh just said, traded back to 16 and got 44. I don't mind that at all. You see, there's situations where there is no one specific need, and not only this draft, like you just said about Jeremiah Smith. If we do what we're supposed to do and we lose a certain amount of games, we're going to have a high draft pick next year. Well, there's a possibility we have our wide receiver, our wide receiver 1 next year instead of this year. Now, to me, I feel that it's like the quarterback position. Every year you got to go wide receiver as well. You got to go edge rusher, quarterback, and to me, wide receiver. You got to have your position. And people forget about this. A lot of talk about a wide receiver room. Devon Achane, he's going to have a lot of receptions. You're talking about Devon Achane pushing 70, 80 receptions this year. Like, a lot of people think that the wide receiver room is thin, but there's still some talent there. There's a lot of players that have something to prove. And we saw the glimpses with Malik Washington. But if there's one player that I'm pushing for, I would say Ruben Bain. And I wouldn't say that it's in our control. It's mostly luck and depending on also how, if he falls because if there's any scouting issues or any little red flags that come up, obviously his shorter arms, but that's not a problem, man. I just see like a Warren Sapp in him, and I think he's a game changer for us. And you put him opposite of Chop, like there's so much possibility that I know we're resetting and we're rebuilding, but I really like some young nucleuses that we have, and we got to rebuild the secondary. That's a foregone conclusion. The O-line is not as bad when you got at least 2 pieces there, possibly 3. But obviously I think it's gonna take precedence. And I would not be surprised if at 11 we do go O-line. It's gonna be legit best player available. But if there's one that I will push for, if he's there, is Ruben Bain. And I'm enticed by Tyson. I really am. And I have a feeling a lot of people say he's injury prone. He seems to be one of those players that was like injury prone in college and he blows up in the NFL and he never misses a game, like a Mike Evans type of receiver, which I compare him to. I think to me he's like Mike Evans. No, whoa. Remember, we had a year. Remember, I wanted Jordan Love. I wanted Jordan Love.
I know, messing with you. I want to say too, just an example, right? If you, let's say you don't go receiver, first off, Ruben Bain, right? If they talk about those alligator arms and he falls to Miami's pick, you run to the board and go get him. But you want to hope that one of those guys are there anyway, because that's going to open up offers for possible trade downs. And I'm okay with that too. I wouldn't sleep on a trade down, but like, you saw now with that 30th pick, now you could afford, if you trade down a little bit, or even you go, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get Spencer Fanu out of Utah. Now I don't have to rush and go get Monsieur Delane. That Monsieur Delane out of LSU, which is great corner, right? You go get him, you'll be good. You got a corner, you got a starting caliber corner, for years to come, But let's say, we really need that Spencer Fanu, Vega Ione, Penn State guard. Let's say you move down a couple spots, you go get Penn State guard, right? Or you maybe say that you take him at 11. Now you got 30 sitting there. You could go get maybe Colton Hood out of Tennessee, the corner. Who people always talk about Jamon McCoy. Not enough people talk about Colton Hood, who's really freaking good. Okay. Colton Hood is damn good. All right. So that would be a really good thing. You got to double down at corner. Even though they got a good handful of corners in free agency, still got a couple of corners on the roster. We lost Kader Kohu, but you could bring in Colton Hood at 30. You feel pretty good about how your draft is looking after day 1. So there's so much options. And I think Adrian put it in the comments just earlier. It's kind of moved up on me now, but he's like, what's great, the best thing is having these options. Miami has so many options right now in the draft. It's awesome. Bobby has never been, Bain has never been there. I don't think. No, I don't see him here. I haven't seen him very early on. Ruben Bain available. Like if you're running Moxie Bean, early on, I would see him drop. Lately, no. And again, I would highly doubt that he drops. Him and Bailey. I mean, who knows though? If Ty Simpson goes 2 to the Jets, or there goes a run on wide receivers or offensive linemen because it's not that deep. Maybe we see it. Maybe it could happen. Maybe anything could go in the draft, but no doubt says, how about a trade up from Dirty for Massador? He would look good in a 4-3. Possibly. There's so many options with the draft with Miami now, especially at 30. And now you got 4 third-round picks. And Josh Wingate, who has been a proponent of grabbing a quarterback, even said trading down or maybe getting a quarterback in the end of the first round. Now that we do have that 30th pick, he's like, I'm getting away from that because you traded down Waddle. But I still think that Miami could go quarterback, especially now you have all the picks. You probably get one later in the draft, and again, a stack and stash type of guy, as is. I think right now Miami's roster currently has it's Malik Willis, Quinn Ewers, and Cam Miller on the roster. So Taylon Green, Luke Altmaier, Drew Allar, unless he fries up. Wingate believes Nussmeier's going in the first round. He is a huge proponent of that. The quarterback out of LSU, he thinks he could go in the first round. Alex, would you draft a quarterback this year? Yes or no? That's a question from DSG.
This year or in the first round? He says.
No, this year.
This year, I would draft a quarterback in the mid rounds if it's available. Like you said, a value pick. I'm not gonna go any. I'm not even in the 4th because I'm happy for now with Willis and I think. This year, you want to go a value pick. Aside from the top 2, realistically, there's a huge drop off. So I think you get a value pick in the last 4th round pick or in a 5th. Do we got a 5th rounder or no?
I think we either don't have a 6th. I think we don't have a 6th rounder.
Okay.
I think we have a 5th rounder, not a 6th rounder.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me. But DSG says I'm team no quarterback. No on a quarterback. We got 11 picks. Right.
Hey.
I mean, there's plenty of ammunition to get a guy if he's falling, or get a guy that you believe in that you could develop and possibly be your long-term backup or possibly a surprise starter if necessary. What happens if Malik Willis goes down? I mean, knock on wood, right? But what if Malik Willis goes down? Now you got Quinn Ewers, and Ewers is playing like a 7th round pick. Plays like, he doesn't belong, and you're sitting there. No doubt, says Altmaier in the 7th. I was just, right there. But that's a guy who I believe has met with Miami. But that's right. Miami isn't drafting to compete. They are drafting to build a roster to compete in 27-28. 100% correct. Again, that's why this year is about going into next season with no expectations. Don't go into going, I think they're going to, they better win 10 games. They better been 12, 13 games. No, I want to see, I hope I see this kid get better throughout the season. Holy crap. Can you imagine our receivers catching every ball and making amazing plays and doing the winning things, and HN continues to look really good, and maybe we got that guard or that tackle, and my God, we got a stud, man. Savanea looks way better in his second year than he did his first year. Like, I'd rather come out of next season going, damn, man, I love the young pieces we've got. Maybe now we can move on from that veteran piece. Now we could move on from an Austin Jackson because that tackle we drafted looked really good in that situation. That's what I'm hoping for next year. Not, man, we didn't win any games, or, I don't want to lose a game, all the games, but man, we didn't win enough games, and fire them. No, it's not about that right now. It's about progression. It's about growth. It's about setting a foundation. You can't build a house before you start on the foundation. That's where Miami is right now. Alex would know, because when he was growing up in his house and he got old enough, every day they were building something new on their damn house. It was like every time I saw this fucking guy, he was building something new. What are you guys doing? Oh, we're building a thing in the backyard. We're changing the kitchen.
That's right.
We added new toilets. It's like, what?
You got to progress. You got to progress, bro. You got to keep working. You got to keep working from the ground.
So we went to IKEA and saw something new and go, yeah, we're installing a kitchen cabinet. Like, oh my God.
IKEA wasn't even there.
Just talking shit.
Rooms to go. Rooms to go.
Yeah, rooms to go. Rooms to go.
Man, I used to go to Home Depot a lot, man. A lot.
Yeah. Can't beat Home Depot, man.
That's amazing. Good times.
Yeah, good time. I had it up earlier and it disappeared on me. Let me pull it back up here.
Yes, I agree with. Move him to right guard.
Savanea, 100%. Savanea needs to be moved to right guard. Absolutely.
Take the wrong guy. Boom.
I agree, no doubt. That's where he should be. I don't know where the idea was to go to left guard. He was at the right side. I know he wants to take a challenge. That's the type of guy he is, the type of player he is. He's not going to say no. But I think what's best for him and best for Miami is to put him at the right side and let's see what he does there. I still believe in him. I love that kid coming out of last year of the draft. I was excited when we got him. I still believe in him. I'm not going to put the Dolphins bullshit on him. There's a lot of players that, got the bat in the stick being with the Miami Dolphins. And I think Salvador got the first year like that. And I think next year he could do better. I really do. Let's hope that's the case. I mean, thank God we got Patrick Paul. Aaron Brewer looks really good. The left guard, right guard, and right tackle, especially if Austin Jackson can't stay healthy, that's the issue. You got to hope that, getting Austin Jackson is great if that means he is, he's competition, right? Like, hey, what if we got Spencer Fano, have him compete with Austin Jackson? Whoever wins. Now you got us a capable backup. Maybe you can move Fanu to guard and play it out, or you go get you draft Ione in the first round, and then you go in the second or third round and get a tackle. Maybe later on, maybe you get Markel Bell out of Miami. That's a massive girthy beast, but he's on the left side. You want him on the right side, but there's some options. But anyway, let me see here. I had this pulled up and it disappeared on me, so make sure I bring it back up.
Girthy, yeah. It's the under the table talk. Josh, girthy.
You like that girth? All right, cool. Anyway,
like that girth. Got girth.
Got girth. Let's see. Oh man, where the hell did it go? Maybe this is it. That would be ideal. 100%. Like, I love the idea of keeping Austin Jackson as long as it's not as like, oh, he is for sure the starter. If he's a starter, fine, he's capable. But if we could keep Austin Jackson and we draft a guy or bring in a guy and let's say they compete and then Jackson is your backup, that's a good problem to have. Because if somebody goes down, Jackson had some good years with him. I like that we've kept Jackson. It gives us security. But I hope he's not our affirmation starter. We're riding in the season with him because he can't stay healthy. You can't trust him. Now, Duke says, I'm going to let Alex answer that because I talked about it yesterday. I will finish up that point. But do you think Achin gets traded or stays?
No, absolutely not. I think Achin gets a contract extension this year before training camp.
Yeah. The report is there was a report today after Jalen Waddle got traded. Obviously, a lot of people came out and said, well, damn, man, they're getting rid of all their guys. What about Achin? Our team's interested in Achin. Of course, you can hear reported, blah, 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 blah. But ESPN, I think ESPN Adam Schefter came out today and said that sources within the Miami Dolphins say that teams have called Miami about Achin, and they've said he's not available.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely should be the case. And it shouldn't be surprising whatsoever. Like, again, to trade Devon Achin, it's going to take a Godfather offer. That's my position on it. I would not touch Devon Achin unless you're giving me some big deal. It has to be a deal that I cannot refuse. And I love Brett Lagasse, right? Co-host of Overtime, was on, has been on the channel for years. He said, give me a third and I can do it. You're out of your mind.
What? No, hell no.
Devon Achin is one of the top players in the NFL. I said top 10 not yesterday. I meant as a playmaker, offensive weapon. He is top 10 in my book. He's one of the best. As a receiver, as a running back, he's not just a running back. So this whole idea that get rid of him or trade him and try to get something for him is nonsense. He's more consistent than Jalen Waddle. He's younger than Jalen Waddle. He's better than Jalen Waddle. He is something that you could build your foundation upon and go out. Now, he's on a contract year coming up. If Miami and him can't come to terms on a deal, and let's say it's a trade deadline and you don't want to lose him for nothing because damn well someone's going to go crazy and overpay for him when it comes time, then you start entertaining legitimate trade offers. But I want to point out, too, if you were paying attention, when Sully had come out, it wouldn't be such a surprise for some out there NFL folks. When Sully was hired as the GM for Miami, he talked about 4 players that he would build the team around, the foundation upon. Patrick Paul, who has been great and is an amazing human being. Great guy. We met him at the DCC. All the success, wish him everything but the success, obviously as a Dolphin, but as a human being as well. Unbelievable. He said Patrick Paul, who's been ecstatic at left tackle. He brought up Aaron Brewer. Oh, but he's too small to be a center for Packers. This is not the Packers, it's the Dolphins. So he's not going to do every little thing the Packers do. But you know, damn, a good thing when you got it, you don't lose it. He said Aaron Brewer. The other one was Jordan Brooks, the linebacker, who we know as a leader, he's up there. As a player, he's always there. That's one thing you want in a player. You don't want guys taking plays off. You don't want guys walking off the field before the game or taking a break on a big play. He's never taking breaks on. He's not taking breaks on big plays. He's involved in every play. He's in everybody's face. He's calling you soft when you're soft. That's the captain you need. You need a guy to call people out, hold people accountable. Dolphin said he's a foundational piece. The last guy, the other guy he brought up was Devon Achane.
Mm-hmm.
Devon Achane. Nobody asked him Devon Achane. He brought up Devon Achane. But wait, Bobby, he talked about Jalen Waddle too. Well, no, he didn't bring up Jalen Waddle. They brought up Jalen Waddle. When I saw that interview, that's what gave me the alarm going, oh, they're going to move Jalen. They're going. And remember what he said in his opening press conference, there's a lot of guys on this team that I like. I'm going to get along with a lot of people. My door's always open. But what's going to happen in the next few months, don't take it personally. All what's best for business, best for the Miami Dolphins. So, would I say that it's not going to happen? I don't believe in nots. I don't believe in absolutes. Anything could happen. But I highly doubt it. If I'm the GM, if I was GM of the Miami Dolphins, it would have to take a Godfather offer to remove Devon Achane from my team. He's young. He's hungry. He's too damn good. And I'm not going to give him away for peanuts just because my team sucks. I'm going to help try to build my team on him because he's been one of the most consistent players on our offense. One of the better players on our offense. Unless he comes to me and goes, Bobby, I want to get traded. Or comes to the Dolphins, Bobby, I want to get traded. We're not going to come to terms on a deal. I'm not entertaining any trade offers. Sorry, Josh. Sorry. Anyway, let's get into the Miami Heat.
Oof.
So, my goodness. First of all, what's happened since Alex and I haven't been on the air together? Pat Riley got a statue in LA. That was awesome. Yep. There are a lot of great stories that came out that I loved. I love watching it. Duke says, were you surprised they let Minka go or did I overrate him? Duke, no, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised what they got for him, and I'm surprised he went to the Jets. But I think that just said how much they just want to get rid of that deal. They just said, let's just move on. Let's just get out of there. But no, I wasn't surprised he was moved. I figured he would be moved. I just didn't expect that trade the way it went down. But with Miami, the Heat, or Pat Riley, excuse me, he got his due. He got his statue. And I'll tell you what, it is so good and so well deserved. A lot of quote unquote Heat fans like to knock on Pat Riley because of the team and what they haven't done, even though they've been in the finals more than 30 of the teams in the NBA, more than those Magic who are having a killer one and have a great streak against the Heat, which is ridiculous in my book. Like, I can't believe the streak that they're on against the Heat. I don't know what they're drinking in Magic City, but anyway. But I love that Riley got his flowers. He got them from Shaq. He got them from Magic. He got it from the Lakers. You saw Mickey Harrison was there. I love that you get, praise that person when they're alive. Give him his flowers while he's alive. We got a court named after him in Miami. He should get a statue in Miami as well. But they got a statue in LA, and that tells you how big he is. For those Heat fans, those guys don't really know what the hell they're talking about. That's how big he is to basketball. That's still how much he matters. So it was really cool to see that. What else has happened? Well, history was made. Bam Adebayo. I was so lucky enough to go with my son to a Heat game while we were down in Florida recently for the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. We did the DCC and then we rushed back. We went to the hotel, changed, rushed back down, went through the traffic, walked through South Florida, downtown, Bayside, got to the arena and watched a great game. And I'll tell you, I told Alex this. First off, Hero looked really good. Khalil Ware is like, hotcakes. What a treat to watch. Awesome players, man. One that really, really, really caught my eye was Bam Adebayo. how he's been playing at ease, how everything looks so easy for him in regards of his shot. Not everything goes in. He didn't have that 83-point game with me when I was down there. I wish it was. And shout out to the good friend who got us the tickets. I know we won't say it, but I'll just say thank you to him and hers who did that. It was a great memory for my son. It was awesome. And he can't stop talking about it. But well, I told Alex after I watched that game, and I was like, man, Bam Adebayo, those threes and the way he was moving. And I mean, I just love the gel of the offense. I'm glad we didn't move anybody. Now, I forgot what show I was doing. I think it was the draft show. And as we were watching it, I went and follow up on the game. And they said, wow, we just finished. Something crazy's happened in Miami, 30 points in the first quarter. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? And he had 40 something in the halftime, and then 70 with 7 minutes remaining, I think, or 2 minutes remaining, something like that. And I'm like, holy! And Alex starts messaging me, bro, are you watching this? Tell me you're watching this, motherfucker. Are you watching this? Like he starts yelling at me. I'm like, dude. Anyway, what an amazing thing to watch. History made at this day and age. You don't think you'd see it, and and for Bam to do it, of all people, was really, really, really cool to see that everything was going his way. He's making the shots he was supposed to make. He had the crowd behind him. You didn't see that type of energy in Miami in a very long time, maybe since Butler and the Heat finals and playoff run, but you didn't see that type of energy. The fans were, and then afterwards, the Heat were back on the news as the most hated team. Oh man, Coach Bo should be ashamed of himself. Bam should have took himself out at 81 or 70, whatever. Oh, shut up. Shut up. You bunch of babies. Get out of here. Like, my goodness, dude. How about talk crap on the Wizards? Their defense was atrocious. How about talk about that? Who would take themselves out? Go for the record. That's what it's about. You don't think Kobe would have went for the record? He was trying to go for the record when he was going at 83. But what did he do? He got the 83 or the 81. And when he got the 83, he checked himself out. I love it. I'm with no doubt. Give me the hate. Bam Adebayo is one of the hardest working players. I was so disgusted and embarrassed with the league. And it just reminds me how stupid the NBA is, the media of it all. But all the stupidity. I loved a lot of the former players who were coming out. Draymond Green, Shaq. All those guys, I love all the guys that come out. But there's other people. You had Mad Dog, Chris Russo on First Take, and I'm Skip Bayless 2.0. Spo should be ashamed of himself. And bam, he thinks he's what? Bam. Just shut up. Stop it. I guarantee you that if that was Steph Curry or LeBron James or Jason Tatum or Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, they wouldn't say that. Nobody would be bitching. They'd be like, oh, he's one of the greatest players of all time. Oh, man, let's do a fucking 5-hour tribute to this guy for getting over 83 points. He surpassed Kobe. Ba, ba, boo, boo, ba, ba. Oh, shut up. But it was Bam. So let's bitch and moan about it. It wasn't a guy that we have been putting on a pedestal. It's Bam Adebayo. One of the hardest working persons in the room. One of the guys who never complains. He goes to work. He does his job. He does it well. That's the only reason why there was any complaining. I love it. I love that now every time somebody talks about that record, they're going to see Bam Adebayo there. Get mad. If I didn't have my hat on my tissue box, I'd bring you a tissue. I absolutely freaking love it. Alex.
To me, it was just comical when people started talking about the unethical part of basketball as if half the teams are not visibly tanking, and the whole organizations are in agreement with it. And to say that about the Heat organization, out of all of them, dude, as a coach, you help out your players. And what Spo did, to me, the greatest part about this is Bam is probably Spo's favorite player of all times. Spo will go to bat for Bam no matter what. And we're used to only seeing one side of Bam, and this is something that if you know basketball, and this is something that we've talked about for a very long time, Bam is probably one of the most gifted players in the NBA because he could do absolutely everything. There is nothing that Bam can't do. The knock on him was his three-point shot, and he's proven now that when he's in flow, he can make them. Bam was just very tentative. Bam had to be rewired to even be more aggressive for himself, be selfish at times offensively. But this is a player that is arguably from 1 to 5 the best on-ball defender, best team defender, best weak side defender, best rotational piece. The way Bam moves, Bam is elite in these things. The common fan is not going to appreciate that because they don't understand how Bam affects the game, even when he doesn't have the basketball. What does the common fan see? How many points? How many assists? How many rebounds? Oh, he got a triple-double. Okay, but was it efficient? Was he helping his team out? When people talk about the Miami Heat and the whole Spo helping out, Bam getting to 83, that's what you want from your coach, man. You want your coach to go against everything and everybody to help his team win. That's how you build trust in that locker room. You cannot ask a player and multiple players to give you 100% every single day. And when you have the chance for help them achieve history, you just pull them out or you take them away. There was no way Bam was going out. And there's no way that Wilt, when he got 100, or Kobe, when he got 81, they were being fed as well. They got some little makeup calls. And yeah, 43 free throws. But if you go and review the film, maybe 1 or 2 of those fouls is debatable. But aside from that, there was legit contact in every single foul. Like, there's a foul. Just because he's going off, you can't just stop enforcing the rules of the actual game. Or, oh no, he has 79 points. I'm not gonna call foul on him. No, man, you gotta call foul. You gotta play it. And even the more sentimental part about this that came out later on, Bam scores 83 on the anniversary of his grandmother's death, and his grandmother was 83 when she passed. So that's the symbolism there. There is basketball to me is one of the most beautiful sports because it's a romantic sport, and everything storyline is romanticized. Bam is getting his dues now, and we've always said this, and this is something that I've told you over and over and over again. I think eventually he will win a championship in Miami when he's in his 30s, maybe in 2 or 3 years. But Bam is a complete player. Is he going to lead your team? Is he going to be your offensive 1A? No, he probably never will be. But if he has the ball in his hands and he's assertive, he has the possibility to do this and average a double-double consistently in the mid-20s. He's not going to be a 30-point scorer, but he's shooting a high percentage shot from 3. He's shooting a high percentage shot from the free throw line. He's very highly efficient offensively. He's their anchor defensively, so he does absolutely everything for them defensively, defending from 1 to 5 and masking up a lot of defensive inefficiency at times. But even the Miami Heat are elite 3-point defenders. So he can be on the wing, on the block. He can out-rebound your best rebounder, and he does absolutely everything. And in regards to the Heat, I love the playoff push. We're always going to stand for that. Do we have a legit shot at getting to 6? These last 2 losses kind of derail that a little bit, but I think there's still a slight possibility that we can and be out of the play-in. But even Charlotte's game, Bam misses because of a calf injury, I believe, or is it a calf injury? I don't know, what was it, or the hamstring. And you see what's missing in the middle. You see what's missing as your captain, and your team takes on the role of your captain. And this team is taking on the role as Bam Adebayo. And Bam Adebayo is the face of your franchise. Bam Adebayo is the face of Miami. And there's something that, obviously, we got Messi and, even, for example, the Marlins, which is one thing that I want to talk to Russ about tomorrow, and I'm really excited about, is how alive that stadium felt. And the vision that you have for Marlins games, where I compare it kind of to like the Panthers, where before people were giving away tickets to the Panthers. You could even get tickets for free to go to the Panthers, and the arena was still half empty. But what did they build? They built a stable organization. There was a change in hierarchy and management, and now they have fans that are invested, and they're the hottest ticket in town. They're more expensive than Heat tickets at times. And that's what I see coming for the Marlins as well. The Heat were always going to have stability. That we're going to make a push. We're going to be successful. Even if we're out of the play-in, we're going to have a lottery pick. The future is bright in regards to these certain situations, and I feel that Bam is just hitting his strides in his prime, where we do have to take care of him because he's going to slow down defensively a little bit. But if you have the right pieces around him, he's not going to score 83 every game. But it's kind of a beautiful thing of the basketball gods rewarding him for all the hard work, for working the right way, for no excuses. He is the epitome of a warrior in the load management era, where players find excuses not to play. Bam finds a reason to play to everything, even at times to his own fault, where he's damaging himself, he's hurting himself, he's putting himself in a vulnerable position for the team down the line. So it couldn't have happened to anybody better. And the symbolism of it being on his grandmother's birthday and the age is kind of like Chris Paul when his grandfather died and he scored 61 for his grandfather's age. There's beauty in that. And there's beauty in sports and these personal stories because we only see what they do wrong. But you also got to acknowledge when they do something right. And for all that critique right after, instead of celebrating somebody, like, why are you going to tear them down when they're high up there? Why? Because he passed maybe one of your legends, one of your all-time favorite players in Kobe. That doesn't matter. Kobe himself would have been there congratulating Bam. Like, game knows game. And that's something that really bothers me when people have never played a game or they never coached or anything, have an opinion about it. Like, yeah, you can have your opinion, but come on, man, don't piggyback off that. Just enjoy the moment. And to come to Spo, which is what I even love the most, when Spo said, I will apologize to nobody, that's what I love. Because Spo's fiery this year, man. Spo ain't messing around. And I think our luck is going to change. We're going to be contenders again shortly. But this is kind of like a rebuild transition part at the post-Jimmy era. And with Bam as your steadfast center and your captain, you have no issue down the line with him.
I just want to say, too, right now we are in the play-in at the 7th seed, 38-31, projected to take on the Atlanta Hawks, who are the AFC 30. They're 37-31. 76ers and Hornets are the other two teams in there. And just looking, the winner of the the Heat Hawks game would go against the Celtics in the round one. So, it's a tough task, but I'll tell you what, the team and the way they are together and all the young pieces. I mean, I'm never betting against this Heat team, never, ever, especially in a series. Maybe never, like the Hawks game, or let's say they lost and they go against the 76ers or Hornets, a one-on-one game. Yeah, they could probably beat us. They could probably get caught up and falter in the third quarter and then get bounced out. And there's a disappointment putting into the season. But if they move into the playoffs in the first round, I'm never bidding out. I'm never bidding against Miami ever.
Oh, no,
in a series. I won't.
Hey, and Hornets are surprising a lot of people. They can mess up some people's plans in those play-ins. They 100%. Can win. They can mess around and eliminate you.
100%. 100%. Let me see here. All right, Alex, what are you doing lately, man? What are you coaching? Are you coaching anything? I know you were doing you were doing volleyball. Are you doing like softball now or indoor golf?
I am doing high competitive table tennis, backyard table tennis with my dog, and I'm teaching animals how to play table tennis right now. It's a daunting task, just handing the paddle. It's really difficult for them, but they're pushing along. They're learning. They're grasping the game. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, man. It's always awesome.
So tomorrow, Alex, there you go. Tomorrow on FTSN, Alex will be live again with Russ Morgan talking about the World Baseball Classic. Alex, any final thoughts for wrap this one up?
Well, first, a shout out to Russ. He's kind enough to invite me back to On Deck and just to share a great time with the World Baseball Classic to kind of highlight our city, Miami, where it could become kind of like a permanent home for this World Baseball Classic. Bobby, if you would have been here and you would see the vibe and how hype everybody was, that stadium was popping, man. And it's just great because I see that for future generations, for my son to be able to see the Marlins, and we have a steady organization and you have that. That's how every environment should be. For many years here in Miami, we've always had empty stadiums and no passion for the game. And that stadium is located exactly where it should be, where everybody should be going to these games. And hopefully with a nice product for the Marlins, it will be. But aside from that, baseball season is coming, so I'm excited for that. I love my baseball, but just getting back to the flow of things, getting back to the East 10th Street boys, enjoying our release, our therapeutic moments that we have on the network, and obviously get to interact with our fans and our listeners, which are always loyal to us, and I appreciate them. Always much love.
100%. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. First episode back. Hopefully, we'll be back next week, the two of us,
Yes,
Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time for another episode of East 10th Street Boys. We got plenty to talk about. Maybe there's another move that happens for the Dolphins. Maybe we're a little closer for the Heat. Maybe the Heat are in the playoffs as a plan, or maybe they're just out, and now we're talking draft for them. But there's so much to talk about, so much time. So I'm Bobby El Gringo. That's Alex the Boy. Like and subscribe, and good night, Miami.
Peace.
Bobby El Gringo's in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street, where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd.